Hey everybody, welcome to Inequalities, Unit 3. So, by way of introduction, let's look at what it means to be a solution or not. Basically, something's a solution to an inequality if it gives you a true statement. So let's rewrite it and let's substitute in the values. So, plugging in -2 gives us -1 is less than 8. That's true, so that is one of the solutions. Plugging in 3, we get 9 is less than 8. That's false, so that's not a solution. There are, in fact, an infinite number of solutions because there are many, many numbers that could be plugged in that would result in a value less than 8. So now, these sentences down here basically say that if you add or subtract to both sides, you retain the truth value of your statement, right? So you can treat them like regular equations, which is how we're going to solve these. You're going to think of them like typical equations, but just keep track of which way the inequality is pointing and make sure it's pointing the correct direction. Here we're going to add 6 to both sides, and we get -7 is greater than or equal to x. Now, I always think of it as x as a point of view, so even if I wrote it like this, I'm thinking x is less than -7 is the way I think of it. So what I like to do is I actually turn the equation. So I'm going to put the x on the other side and the -7 on the right, but since the inequality is like eating the -7, or the tiny end is pointing at the x, when I do that, I have to make sure I keep it with trying to eat the 7, or the smaller end, the lesser end, pointing at the x. When you do it this way, if it's x is on the left here, then this arrowhead is going to look the same as the arrowhead on the inequality. It's a nice little trick there too. So you always consider x's point of view. Now, I filled in the circle because it's a less than or equal to symbol. And then all the x's that are less than -7 would be to the left, right? -10 would be less than -7, -100 would be less than -7, anything to the left. All right, so solving the next one. Subtract 4 from both sides, we get this. Put an open circle at -13 because of that symbol. Be sure to label the line correctly. So these numbers have to be in the correct order. If you put a negative number on the right side of a positive number, that would be incorrect. Our number line goes from left to right. Has to, or we can't be having a conversation about this. And then last problem here, in order to be in your class, you must earn more than 350 points. You've earned so much so far. So we define a variable. X is number of more points you need to earn. You want a total that's greater than or equal to 350. So x plus the 2 values you earned already has to be greater than 350, greater than or equal to. Oh, actually, it should be more than, so that's just greater than, not greater than or equal to. The more than says it's not allowed to be equal to. So you need to earn not at least, that would allow it to be equal to, it needs to be more than 140 points.